It's semi-final time in the 96 MOBIL League on Goal Attack. Melbourne will play Adelaide Contax and top place Sydney Energy will play their crosstown rivals Sydney St Avis. Hello, I'm Steve Rebillard for ABC Sport and welcome to the Adelaide Powerhouse. Well, in this first semi-final, Adelaide Contax have home court advantage. But only a week ago, in the last round, they were thrashed by 16 goals by Melbourne. It's debatable whether Melbourne can play any better than that fine performance, but Anne Sargent, Contax will have to if they're to book a place in the final.
Oh, I think we'll see a very different Contax performance tonight. They were disappointing in that last match. Whether they've got enough there, though, to hold a Melbourne that's very much in form and has so much versatility and depth in their line, they're really impressive going into the playoffs. I think Melbourne has the edge. Contax with Vicky Wilson would be another issue, but I think if they go into the match without her, then, gee, Melbourne have won me over. I think they've got too much.
Let's have a look at the teams then. And Melbourne coach Norma Plummer has a dozen players worthy of a run in the starting seven, but here are her choices. It's Southby and Bryant in goals, Danny Arnott the unlucky one. Then at wing attack, Michelle Bennison. At centre, Ingrid Dick, while skipper Simone McInnes holds down wing defence. A dilemma at the back with three outstanding defenders chasing two spots, but Taverner and Jenke win out with Lynch relegated to the bench. Marg Angove's run-on team is a little clearer, although goalkeeper Sarah Sutter has had to work hard on an ankle injury this week. The goalers are Sharon Purser and Jackie Delaney, the fleet-footed Audine Cobb at wing attack, Rebecca Sanders in the middle and Vicky Neal wing defence. Kath Harvey at goal defence is the Contax captain, at 26, the oldest in a young team. Melbourne in possession as we start this first semi-final.
Goal attack instruction.
Melbourne in the dark blue, running to the left.
Catherine Harvey, I thought, stumbling there, but it's a contact call gone against Jocelyn Bryant.
Jan Cross and Sharon Burge in charge of this very important game. 16 goals the difference last week. I wonder how many goals the absence of Sarah Sutter for most of the game was worth.
I thought Contax was starting to lose impact just before she left the court, certainly, and that's a great goal, a great opening there to Delaney. I thought Contax were just going off the ball before she left. Certainly when she left, they went downhill rapidly, folded like a deck chair. But they look like they're on a mission. And in so many ways, Steve, this semi more important than the final itself.
Taverner to McInnes. And back.
I think the answer for Contax lies in Jackie Delaney, who put up that first goal. If she can hold that sort of performance across 60 minutes, Contax are well able to cause the upset in front of their home crowd.
Well, Sutter looks to be moving well as she gets it to Sanders. And Bryant gets there ahead of Harvey to tip it out. A couple of young goalers for Contax. Purser 20, Delaney 21. And they're confidence players, aren't they? If they get away to a good start, get some long ones in early, they'll be hard to stop.
Very much. Both of them are confidence players, and I think that's what happened last week. We saw them falter. Although they had a reasonable start, they trailed by just the one at quarter time, but they started to slide early moments in the second quarter.
Southby.
And Steve, I think a couple of upset lineups for Melbourne. I thought they may have gone with Lynch, who's just back from injury, and despite Rose Dujenke having a fine season, I thought Lynch might have just been there as something different and fresh and really firing. And a big decision to go with their import player, Jocelyn Bryant, at goal attack. You could well understand if they stuck with the local lineup in Danny Arnott.
Contax off to the ideal start with a little over 2 minutes gone. Bennison, Ingrid Dick, Southby on the stretch. And I really got the impression from the look in the faces of the Contax players that this match will bring out their best, certainly in intensity.
That's for sure. I watched them as they came out from the tunnel. They didn't even look up to acknowledge anybody. Crowd, courtside, commentary. They were just really focused on what they had to do and chatting about it off camera. They're the sort of side that can really put it together when it counts.
Sharon Burge says OK to the third goal for Contax. Untouched in the centre third.
This is a rare start for Melbourne. They're normally fairly crisp from the opening whistle. The only time they faltered it throughout the series on their start was against Energy Australia, Sydney Energy. And of course that was one huge stumble. They had a shocker of an opening against them, but they did recover. This is another test for them.
Melbourne lost to Sydney Energy 49-57. Contax lost 49-52. Sanders. And arriving into the circle, Delaney. Touch from McInnes.
Oh, that was great work from McInnes, but Sanders was so quick to the ball at the top of the circle and she scored the contact ball.
Delaney.
3 from 3 for Jackie Delaney. No misses on the board for Contax.
4 minutes gone and no goals yet for Melbourne. Benison. Dick. Southby. And still it won't happen this time. Bryant. A settler, but it's not come for quite a while.
Steve, the other difference about this game, we have Vicky Wilson fully dressed on the bench. I mean, she's dressed for action, so that's another possibility that if they needed to, they might resort to putting her out there. But they look like they're trying to protect the knee as long as they can.
I thought she looked a bit proppy in the warm-up. I don't know that she's ready.
Well, she played for the Australian squad last Sunday and was in great form, beat all defenders that stepped up against her by reports. I can see this, that's behind closed doors, and this is very public, and I know they wouldn't want to put her out till she was absolutely confident to play at her best.
Where you are?
Southby. And a touch of nerves, Eloise entitled to at 19. Big match for her. To an air ball. Sutter. Sanders. Harvey. And Neal on the side. Oh, Contact's lucky to get it back. Jenke reaching around the corner and
she stayed
Contact.
on it just a bit. That was a great shot of that. She stayed on it just a little bit too long, and that drew the contact. Otherwise, it would have been just recover and defend. Uncharacteristic start for Eloise Southby. 4 misses in her opening. Prior to Jenke's intercept, Contact outside the circle against Ordine Cobb. What a start, though, for Adelaide Contax.
And Delaney, like a good goal attack, working in defence to keep that one out. Now Benison.
Oh, the touch from Harvey.
Southby. That's better.
And there's probably a sigh going through that body. We've been complimenting Melbourne all season on their composure for such young heads. This will really test that composure.
Southby again. And suddenly the difference is just the one. Cobb to the corner.
Oh, Jenke doing some great work on Sharon Purser. Had a block for quite a few seconds there.
Sanders open. And a good read of the moves of Delaney. And Delaney doesn't let her down.
Steve, my spies told me that Marg Angove really put the pressure on the young shooters this week. She really worked them hard and made it quite clear that tonight depended on them.
Southby. Bryant held position well, waits the challenge from Harvey. And the crowd calling for a held ball.
That was an early jump from Harvey, and she did it, I'm sure, on purpose to try and put pressure on Jocelyn Bryant.
Terrific feed for Purser.
Ordine Cobb to Delaney, and a great ball from Delaney. Purser on good stretch there and very steady to the post.
Melbourne came back, and now it's a 4-goal margin again with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Bryant. Touch from Sutter and wins applause from a captain, Harvey. But it's still Melbourne ball. Bryant. Oh, she put Southby under a fair bit of pressure. Defenders knew that was coming.
Hey. Barney's offside.
I still think that's a tactic that everybody learned from Natalie Avellino.
I think Avellino and Nikki Marshall, a Victorian shooter, both exploited it to the same benefit around the same time. Nikki Marshall out of the netball scene for a while, but I believe she's back playing in Victoria.
3 minutes left in the first.
Well, the arm was up early by Jenke. Then I thought that was pretty close to an obstruction call. It's only obstruction if the defender leaves the arm up. If they have a go at the ball and then they retract the arm, then that's fine. But I thought she stayed with the arm up protecting.
Southby to Dick. Benison.
Will Sutter let Southby sneak through on that one.
Southby looks at the score and she sees that not too much damage has been done after it was a threatening opening from Contax. I don't think either coach with the score this close would be pressing the panic button early at quarter time in terms of changes.
Now, if you consider last week's match, there was just one goal separating the two teams at the quarter break, and that was when they were both close to reasonable form. And as we said, Contax had a lot more ground to make.
57-41 it ended up last week in Melbourne's favour. Last year, 46-40, Melbourne defeated Contax in the rounds. Didn't meet in the semi-finals. Delaney.
8 shots for Delaney, just the one miss.
Southby to Bryant. Harvey almost fell over in the attempt to get to it.
Offside, free pass.
Benison.
Holding, keeper.
Still got Susie Howie on the bench, a great centre court player, also coming back from injury like Janine Lynch.
Back where the keeper is.
Plenty of options for Norma Plummer if things aren't going right by half-time.
Howie, of course, is a great contender for the World Youth Cup team that will go to Canada later this year. And Melbourne, I think, just out of respect for her consideration for that team, will hold her off court as long as they possibly can.
McInnes, another great stretch and take.
Well, she's a ballerina on a netball court, Simone McInnes. That was beautiful display of skill and balance.
Bryant.
Southby did well then, changed direction, almost hid the hold then.
Great composure from Melbourne to draw level.
Southby, see her draw the base and then stop on the hold and just cheats the offside of Harvey.
Around 20 seconds left in the first quarter. And we're all tied up. Can Contax get it to the circle quickly enough? Delaney. Lost control. Replay. Jenke. Benison.
Quick outlet from Jenke to find ground through the midcourt in 2 passes.
Back further. Centre side.
I don't think they'll have time to put the shot up. Indeed they don't. Sharon Burge says that'll do to end a very entertaining first 15 minutes. So at the first break, Melbourne 12, Adelaide Contax 12. Rebecca Sanders for Contax takes the first centre pass of the second quarter. And if Melbourne had been able to convert some of that first quarter possession, the score might have been quite different, Anne.
Yes, Melbourne with 20 shots compared to Contax 14, but Contax making great use of them. You can see both sitting in the 80s, very high stats for their shooters, and a great start, particularly from Jackie Delaney with 8 from 9. Melbourne, though, an uncharacteristic poor first quarter from Eloise Southby, 8 from 13, just 61%, and 57% from Jocelyn Bryant. They haven't dug that low in quite a while, so they'll need to lift from there.
Barney's offside.
Last week, Southby shot 78%, Bryant 71%. So they're well below what they're capable of. Delaney.
Point, Steve, is though they did recover despite such a shaky start. I think for both teams, all thoughts of last week's 16-goal discrepancy is gone.
Margangove on the right. And Wilson keeping warm. Well, Jackie Delaney only shot 58% against Melbourne, so that 88% first quarter will give her a great heart.
I think, though, from memory, she opened well against Melbourne in the first quarter and faded throughout the match, and we've seen that in a few games, so pressure right on for her to stand and deliver across the full 4 quarters.
A lively little clash between Benison and Neal. Vicky Neal leaves it for Benison. Southby. Got it knocked out of her hand, she thinks, by Sutter. It's still with Melbourne. Bryant. Southby. Norma Plummer, far right. Pat Chappell getting out of the chair, the manager.
I think that's the most anxious we've seen Norma Plummer all series. She almost looked a little bit involved there. She's normally quite laid back.
Contact, goal shoot, goal attack.
Turns on the inside.
Where you are?
Taverner. It's a bounce to her advantage. Benison.
Southby out too soon, so she clears to leave the circle open for Bryant.
Well, Harvey lost her footing there, but she's quickly okay, and Bryant can take the shot and the lead. Ingrid Dick waits for someone to become available. There were two in a metre, Bryant and Taverner. Now it's Dick.
Yeah, Bryant had led for the centre but hadn't cleared. Taverner drove right down onto a space, and you could see from Ingrid Dick's face that her displeasure at two in the one spot. A little bit of understanding in their forward line. But as you say, still the lead.
This is Melbourne's best position in the match so far. Delaney spills
Ambitious
it. Oh,
pass,
great.
but timed beautifully from
Great
Harvey.
ball for Purser from Harvey. Good one, Harb, says Sharon Purser. Well might she.
Harvey holds it up and decides to go direct to the post. Purser in good position.
Melbourne with a chance for a leveller. Benison.
Good strong two hands over the shot from Sutter, but contact on the follow through.
Southby, and it's good. Contacts the centre pass as we're at 20 all. We were 12 all at quarter time. And well matched to these two clubs. Different story to last week. Contacts at home and with a fit Sarah Sutter and just look a different outfit.
Certainly do, and I think we read it as they entered the stadium, fully committed to this match. Rosalie Jenke, though, having a good performance. She just put a strong outlet there. Just wonder whether Melbourne would like to dig into their bench to just change the timing out there. There are a couple of mid-quarters warming up behind us, and I'd have to say, whilst Melbourne has the lead, they don't look comfortable.
Southby to Ingrid Dick. Oh, and Bryant and Southby both ended up almost in Ingrid Dick's lap before Bryant broke away.
Bryant slapping away the arms of Catherine Harvey, obviously not pleased by the close attention she's receiving. Strong game from Sarah Sutter.
Sutter leads Harvey. Long ball to Neal. Delaney. Cobb to the corner.
Looks far sweeter down court from Contacts than it does from Melbourne. I think Contacts at their best in Melbourne, not yet finding it.
Purser has to get the shot away quite quickly. Off Jenke, says Jan Cross. So Contacts ball. Purser to take it.
Purser
3:30
5
left.
from 7 so far. And Delaney slumping a little in this quarter.
Southby leads out. Bryant. Benison. And the long arm of Sarah Sutter pops around the corner. Melbourne ball for Bryant. Southby this time. Delaney. And good work over the ball by Ingrid Dick, who's got it. She will have. Well, if Norma Plummer, and if we're right, and the signs off the court are correct, she's thinking about mid-court changes. She could put Benison at centre, bring on Megan Fleiner, who had a good game last week.
Janine Lynch is warming up too. There's Susie Howie, Megan Fleiner and Lynch. Looks like the balance has just shifted. Lynch is doing the bulk of the work, so perhaps Lynch might come on to replace Jenke. Jenke puts in a great rebound, perhaps trying to turn things back.
Well, the warm-up's happening down that end. If she had half a second, she could see what was going on.
Barney's offside.
Oh,
Win.
nice ball. Just dropped into space by Delaney for Purser, and she rewards it.
Janine Lynch checks the scoreboard. Megan Flyner there, wing attack and centre with her. Lynch having pretty much fully recovered from the scaphoid operation.
Again, Bryant literally trying to hold off Harvey with one arm and take the ball with the other. Harvey making a presence felt on that challenge as well.
22-21 to Melbourne. Neal. McInnes can only give it back to Vicky Neal.
Well, that intercept was given to McInnes by the hesitation Neal put out. She should have given the ball in the first place.
Sweet shot from Jackie Delaney. Now what Contax want in the last 70 seconds is another turnover. Try and wrest the lead back, but Bryant is in good position.
And great form, 8 from 9. Oh, that was lovely work by Audine Cobb. Took the first ball that was almost out of reach, offloaded it smartly and put the drive on.
Ball against Jackie Delaney. So here's a chance for a 3-goal lead for Melbourne as they come to half-time. And I wonder whether Norma Plummer would rethink the changes. Go, says McInnes to Ingrid Dick. Benison has it. Bryant, don't think she was expecting the bounce pass, but got down quickly enough for it. About 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Oh, Cobb at full stretch. Harvey, Delaney. Sanders runs straight into McInnes. Timekeeper's up now. And the error forced. I think that's all we'll see in the second quarter, but it's been another beauty. And Sharon Burge again says that's the 15 minutes. And it's Melbourne with a slight advantage as they go to half-time. 24-22 over Contax.